Greetings all. Okay, came back from as you can tell, I might look a little beat up. Came back from another video adventure, you can say. I didn't shoot as much as I'd like to, but I was worn out all day today, so it's all good. No burns. So I got sunscreen over me, but at least I don't have any casualties as for burnness, so that's good. So everything I wear is now white. Everything you can kind of tell on my shirt. Anyway, so it was fun. I posted a link on World Origins, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, so it's uploading now. I did 2 of them, not very long. Maybe it'll be posted tonight. We'll see. It might take all night. Well, it might take a while for it all to upload. At least one of them will be uploaded, so we'll see. And I edit it and I process it, so it might be a while. So anyway, it was fun. Yeah, the message portions weren't very long. They're not necessarily need to be, or even heard for that matter, from what I'm gathering. The idea is to gather attention to all this from other parts of the world. Those are not used to this type of connections. Of course, it takes a while for it to be found also on YouTube, but I'm patient. I think it will be found eventually somehow. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. I'm not sure this is going to help anything. Yeah, that might help my speaker a little bit, maybe not. So yeah, I might do a short one tomorrow. So I'll go into more details of what's going on. So I did have a problem with my car, but I guess I had some bad gas. I'm not too sure yet. Yeah, my car was driving fine. All of a sudden, it starts going really slow. So I think it's gas. I just got gas yesterday from Chevron, so it's kind of a shady place. So most likely that was it. Put a high test in it. Today it seems to be running a lot better. So yeah, it didn't sound too good. So anyway, I was going to do this last night, and I was way too tired. So we'll do what we can tonight. So much love to all of you. This is a Q&A session. I answer your questions. I've been submitted. I'm not going to tell you what month because these are kind of old. But all right, let's jump right into it. If I let's see here, and I didn't read any of these right ahead of time at all either. So, all right, this is a question from LV97. That's right, all right, clear the space. Allow the angels to come in to bring a positive clarity to what is going on here. And that's another thing about these adventures is that I seem to be connecting more with what's going on. I'm also going to be offering other services also, but not yet. Say I'm testing myself right now, so I'll go into more details when I feel like I'm ready for it. But it should be interesting. Other than that, let's get rolling. Oh. Okay, question is, this is from question LV97. Hi. Well, that's a reading. Let's see here. Any alien message? Well, that's what this is all about, my thinking. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. Okay, there's like 10 questions here. So, all right, we'll just go to... Okay, LV97, we're just going to go to your spirit. Spirit guides are, I feel like wolf spirit guide, a positive one. Raoul, however you word that. Yes, Native American spirit. Palladian energies. There's a female around you also by the name of Kershka. Blonde hair. Doesn't say skin color, doesn't matter. Angelic energies as usual. What else do we have here? They just say be patient with yourself. That's the message. And slow down. All right. Okay, thank you for your question. How do I pronounce this? Dear Ivan, you have not ever answered my question so far. Well, we're here now. This is a kind of, yeah, this was sent a long time ago too. Coralie, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Morin, Coralie Morin, Coralie. Okay. Well, today's your lucky day. Hopefully you're going to be here to listen to some of this. Tell me more about my DNA infusions. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. Submit question. There's like 5 here. Let's see let's see which question jumps up the most. Okay, this is going to take a second. Well, this is questions about the colonies with Gert Figner. I'm not sure if she already had all this taken care of. As for hybrid children, okay, well, I'll just give you my intake without any Gert Figner or anybody else. Well, not without. All right, we're just going to open you up to hybrid children altogether. Do you see a Weirin child? I'm getting more of a teenage years. Funny, I'm seeing him with glasses. It's very bizarre. Okay, that's a new one. Oh, he's male. He's not feline. That's why. But he's a Weirin. I'm not sure if no, this is not Gert Figner connected. I've never said that before. That's a new one. Also, there is a lizard child. Yeah, a hybrid child is a lizard. Reptilian. What? Made by Gray Technologies. That's a gray hybrid child. Interesting, created. But it's a reptilian, but Gray Technologies. That's interesting. That's a new one. As for these names you have here, I don't think these names go with either one of these. This one's around. Yeah, you're part of some kind of gray hybridization program. This one's pretty secretive though, but they allow you to at least know about that. That's probably about, well, you might get more, but that'll be more private stuff. But this is they're allowing. They're going to let you have some. As for as for age, I believe this one was just born, is what I'm getting. Okay, thank you for your question. Child of Light, question from Child of Light. Okay, the question is about an Andromedan being give some information about their DNA affects humans and what potential it holds. Seems it helps with intelligence. Many of them do, not all. Oh, interesting. Longevity also. It seems to keep the DNA from falling apart. Like it heals the DNA in certain areas. It seems to work well with Weirin. I see Yael also works well with Yael. It seems to be a medical, for like a healing force around Yael. If it's not always effective, an Andromeda infusion can come in and make it more effective. It's like the mix of the two seems to work a lot better. Let's put it that way. As for anything else there's more, but that is the basics of it. It helps. Also, it helps with fertility, which is interesting. Yeah, like with children as they go through their creation process. Not hybrid children, actual children. This seems to help with that. Thank you for your question. A question from Mulder. This is an interesting one. My question is for being contacted. Okay, I'm not reading this right. Okay, how do I get in touch with someone from the MIB? Under what circumstance? Once again, I mean the good portion of the MIB and how I can tell if one positive within meditation, but they choose. It seems like they choose who they connect with, but that would be like a private session type of deal, from what I'm gathering. As for actually, I mean, you can connect to them spiritually if you like to, but it depends on how spiritual you are and how far you want to go with that. That'd be more of a private session type deal. As for truly connecting to them, that's up to you. There are positive ones, but there are positive ones that do things they don't want to do, but aren't we all in that kind of situation? So, in some degree. So, okay. Well, hopefully that spiritually through meditation that's the way to do it. But be careful. Yeah, you gotta bring in all your was it 1,000,000 angels? Bring in your 1,000,000 angels or whatever it is, and surround be super careful. Yeah, you gotta be really careful with this. You gotta really know what you're doing. So much love to you. Yeah, be careful if you do connect them on your own. That was a while ago, so who knows how that's going. But question from Paul. Make sure this is a question first. I don't know if I understand that. Okay, that's not a question. Question from Richard. Only wondering about general messages. Only wondering about general messages from my angels and guides. I'm living in England, born in September. Not too interested in hearing about my future. Thanks. Let's see here. As you normally hear, you have a strong connection with Archangel Michael. Okay, as for picking up a little bit more than I need to pick up, 1 second. As for general messages, seems to be nothing. It doesn't seem like anything publicly. One moment. Only thing they can say is you have a connection with the Lyran race. Who doesn't? As Lyran, you are part of the Zeta Wars, and some of those scars are still with you right now. I don't know if you have a drinking problem or you're have an addiction. Seems like alcohol. Not to say it was like a super problem, but it is a need for it. But not to say it's an addiction. Some of that has to do with that. We all have that kind of mix of conflict within us we're not aware of. Yeah, we have past lives here, but we also have the galactic stuff. That's not. So that is the message as for that. As for your awakening processes, that's usually where they put the messages. They don't go into details of anything else usually because it's not publicly. Because this is public, so if it was private, it'd be a different story. But this is public, so it's like generally. So they're not gonna put your dirty laundry or anybody's for that matter. Sometimes they have to say certain things, but either way, for the most part, it's usually about your awakening process. For your awakening, connect with the angels, and you will find your way. You just have a close relationship with them, is what I'm saying. All right, blessings. Thank you for your question. Question from Ben: who are my guides, and how do I connect with them? Connecting them through meditation. I do it with a candle, but it's up to you. Also, what's coming through right away is Reiki would be good for you. That's another way to connect to your guides. However form you want to, you can do that on your own or find someone to assist you. It seems like it will open up a lot for you to connect. Who are your guides, though? Interesting. All right, I'm just going to tell you what came through. And it's a guide named Adronis. They're just not going away. It's funny, he's connected to the whale species. He's not the same one as Brad Johnson, but he's using that name because it's very powerful. He's connected to a whale species in Sirius. Thank you for your question. As for anything else, just connect with him. That's the only thing I got. There's more, but connect to that one first. Okay, blessings. I cannot read that. Well, you're gonna love this one. I cannot pronounce IRJAKAARINA. Go for it. Okay, well, this will be interesting. Many aliens came to meet our guru while he lived on Earth. He told in one occasion that there is life on planet Asvin, ASVIN. They are highly spiritual beings. As children, they are already learned higher meditation. Do you know anything about this planet and beings there? Nothing at all, but interesting. These are high evolved aliens need to do meditation, or does it? Oh, do highly evolved aliens need to do meditation, or does it become unnecessary at some point? Our guru has said also that there are other planets where there are yoga monks and nuns similar to ours. Yes. Are you able to see which planets? Well, not tonight. Personally, this is interesting. Personally, I have had always so much interest on aliens. What might be the reason? What is the best way to help with disclosure? Thank you for your time. Well, that was interesting. As for what is the best way to help with disclosure is to, well, it seems like the best way is to share your messages. Always share your beliefs with others when you feel comfortable with it. Don't throw yourself out there if you don't feel like it. But yeah, it's good to share, or join a community. And there are several, well, kind of. But it's, yeah. As for this plan and all that, interesting. I don't want to channel or grow. We need to have an idea. Interesting. Oh, as for meditation, I think I think all beings do. They all do meditation. Fourth density beings do. Fifth density, their whole lives, it seems like, is meditation. It's like they're already in a meditative state, is what I'm gathering. And you go up and it's the same thing. So that's why they're higher, they're already in a meditative understanding. Of course, in our realms, the lower realms, practically, This is where all the warning is, though. The quicker warning, as you can tell. This is where we come to get beat up, basically. But we come out a lot, we get a lot of things solved here, even if we don't think we are, but we are accomplishing a lot here, even if we feel like we're not accomplishing anything. We are, but it's a really awesome story. That's really cool. As for this planet, it feels like there's a lot of feline beings there. Not called Weirin, but there are a lot of feline beings, and they are very highly evolved. So now there's humanoids there too, but I feel so much feline there. It's a lot of stuff. But anyway, okay. Thank you for your question. Blessings. I think I answered that one already. Maybe. Question from Anon. When will disclosure happen? Year 5000. I don't know. It's up in the air. It depends on how we evolve. It's when you start talking about aliens and everything. When Fox News starts taking on, when humanity adds this into your culture, instead of this just being like this conspiracy stuff, when it's actually, now I understand this alien stuff is not like the New World. Of course, the New World Order stuff is involved with it, but not the negative stuff. The more positive, the alien stuff's not all. Some of it's negative, not all of it. A lot of it, most of it's not. So if you push a lot of this into our culture, like the stuff Alex Jones does, a lot of that's super negative. But doesn't mean it's all wrong. But the way he's putting it is like end of the world and fear porn. But the more positive the alien stuff is, the more it will go into our culture and be more accepted. Just like you have anything else, you got your video games or whatever. It's already in the video games, but then more. I don't know if it's all positive. It might be half. I don't know how the video games are. But when this alien culture and spiritual cultures go more into our, as the norm, just like I wouldn't say a movement is part of it, but it's, it becomes a thing. It's a thing, but not a big thing. It became a bigger thing. That will help out a lot. And if more people start connecting to this stuff, it's like, let me connect to my Arthurian side right now. That's normal. If that's in the everyday culture, instead of seeing it as just rubbish. That's the thing. I was going to mention this in the channel. My channels are opening up a lot more from what I'm gathering now. And another thing is people that, come to my channel and bash me or whatever. It's funny how they go back into, they call it it's not real, but then they go back into that kind of reptilian control that they know so well, because you're raised into it. It's like you go back into the cage and you come back and say your words like, that's not real. But you go back into the cage that they built. Of course, we're all technically in there, but a lot of us are aware, at least we know what we're in. But they go into the brainwashing, and all, they go right back into it. It's like, that's not real, and then they go back and be brainwashed like a good human. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a lot of, one thing about this alien stuff, it doesn't have the negativity. I mean, it has some, of course, but it has positive too. So it has both. I mean, it has the balance. Technically, it has the balance, and that's good for it to go into our culture. That's great. Now, what Jones is doing is all super negative. It's all end of the world, and not all. I mean, I don't think he's totally negative, but there's parts of just jeez. But anyway, but yeah, if it's more of our culture, you know what I mean? So sightings and all that's great, but man, we need a culture shock is what we need. It needs to be injected into our culture. And that will help out a lot. This becomes the norm. Like people play video games, well, they connect to their aliens also. They look into it. It becomes more normal. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, okay, people are scared of their spirit guides. Okay, great. Well, that would be nice too. But when more people realize they have spirit guides, most don't. They won't connect to that. So that would help. If they connect more of their guides and connect more of their aliens, that will speed things up, that's for sure. So I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, okay, this is old. Can't answer that one. Okay, we'll go a little bit longer. Hopefully this is helping somebody. So, somebody, I think somebody's just sending this stuff just to have it read. Question from Tipsy Sailor. The Dark Man kissed my stomach when I was pregnant. What and who was that and why? And channel request the one. That's an interesting one. I got past the name and just took another turn there, didn't it? Dark Man kissed my stomach and when I was pregnant. What and who? That's an interesting one. I don't think it was negative. Dark Man, I think he was, from what I'm gathering, he was hiding his appearance. That was the only way he knew how to do it. And of course, that's how we were perceiving him, how you were perceiving him, and anybody else would perceive him. I don't think he's negative. He wouldn't be doing that. It feels like a loss. Interesting. All right, this is what I'm getting. A long lost brother that knew you in another lifetime where you had a child and it did not survive. And so he's around. This is like another lifetime. It was another lifetime. You had a child, did not survive. I don't believe it's in this lifetime. It was another one. And so he was there too. So you're still, obviously, you're still connected like a brother and sister, even after death, of course. That's why he was there. That's all I'm gathering. That's nice. That is why, just watching out for him. That's all. Thank you. Question from Paul. Does hell exist? I hear so much about when you pass away. There's diabetes, aliens wanting to portray lies, yep, and trap your soul into reincarnating. Whereas a proper way to the spirit realm where Jesus is, can you go into depth into how truth to avoid any problems other sick entities try to play on you reach safety? Yeah, the thing is, if you're afraid of death, it depends. If you know where you're going, you're spiritually aware. I know it's very difficult for me to go in that realm. If you let's put it this way: if you know you're going to cross over and you're going to be fine, you'll be fine. If you have hesitation, like fear, it's different. It's complicated. If you're in fear, it seems like you don't entirely cross over. Now, so there's different versions of fear, though. There's different fears of holding on to this reality also. There's different versions of this. There's a lot. It's a long list, but fear is like, if you feel like you're going to go to hell, you might get caught into the lower realms. Possibly. Not always. It depends on how you are, what you feel. Is like you're confident you'll be fine. If you have fear of going to hell, but you know you're going to be okay, most likely you'll be fine. But there's some that just, many that, let's put it this way, many that hold on to this reality as they cross over, it seems like they get stuck somehow. It's like, I'm not really ready to cross over. I don't want to cross over. And then they get stuck. And then they see all this other stuff and they don't know where to go. And there are those that can guide them into the right place. And that's very helpful, but still as much fear of how to do this. Many of that ghosts that get stuck here don't, a lot of ghosts don't want to go. They want to stay in that. But the best way is not to have any fear, and you will cross over fine. If you get stuck there, that's where it gets difficult, but because it tests your faith with that, your faith. Now, how do you get out of that? Well, that's where it gets kind of, that's where it gets kind of weird, because it's really not, it's different for everybody, just like crossing over is different for everybody. So having one way for everyone, it doesn't really exist. I believe most souls cross over fine, but if you're full of negativity, it's going to be hard. You're going to go into the, most likely, not always, go into the lower realms, but not always. That's what I mean. It's different for everybody. There's no version for everyone of how to cross over. How to cross over. I mean, for the most part, if you feel like you'll cross over fine, you will. But there are ways of being trapped. Like me, I have like so many, targets on my back right now. I mean, I have target after target on my back. Trust me, I've had visitations. Shit hasn't been pleasant. But I feel like I'll be fine too. But see, I'm a target. They're going to just, claw at you and try to trick you. So, it's a tough one. Let's put it this way. When you get stuck into that realm, how do you get out of there? It's different for everybody. And I don't know if I really have an answer for that. It's just believe you will find a way out. And it's like, I believe you have to. There are many souls that have crossed over into that realm that have committed suicide. I know one very well. And to redeem themselves, because like they're like doomed. It's like I committed suicide, shouldn't have did it. It's like I could have just lived out my life and just eventually his time would have come. I believe some of you know who this is, but he didn't do that. He just took his life out like that sooner than he should have. But now he's not on the other side, but he's on a higher realm of the lower realms slightly. This isn't Eric, it's somebody else. Souls like Eric can help souls that are in the lower realms that wish to be helped. Souls like Eric, but this one I'm speaking of because he's going to be trapped there for a long time. He's going to be there for a long time. Well, that's what happens when you end your life sooner than you should have. Eric's a different story, but for this one, didn't have to do it. He's trying to redeem himself, trying to do whatever he can to it's also to help others. So he's helping others cross over. There's help there, and they're going to have to talk to you over and over again to let you know that it's kosher, it's okay. So there's souls over there. So let's put it this way. I know it's still a tough one, but if you're not spiritually aware, it is tough. But if you're spiritually aware, I believe you'll be fine. You just know the spirit world. You have guides. You have, let's put it, safety nets. You'll be fine. And probably during your time of passing, of course, car accidents are known for. If you die in a car accident, I know I have a friend of mine who's very psychically. He sees those that cross over sometimes. But there was a car accident. I guess he was driving by it. And there was a car accident. Person in the car was dead, and he saw the soul outside the car, saying, "I was just, as a ghost now." It's like I was in a rush, and there was no reason. Their life is over, and so that ghost saw him because he saw them. So the ghost kept hanging around him. So that's. Yeah, so, and he was young, so he didn't know what to do with that. Because then they get tired of hanging around that psychic person because you're aware, then they go and they get lost. But eventually they will meet someone like the one that I just spoke of that, is helping others cross over. So there is help there. It's just, are you willing to be helped? Now, I believe it's mostly, now there are negative beings there, yes, that screw around, but let me see here. Yeah, this is going on and on, isn't it? Well, this is an important one. One moment. I think for the most part, it's false lights that you will see, like false doorways to the other side. That's why some souls get lost. Like, I don't know where to go. And then you will most likely meet a soul that will help you cross over. There are chances of you meeting a soul that's not a positive one, but I believe you'll be able to see through it because there will be signs that they're faking. It just is. You know what I mean? Just like a con man, you always see the truth. You know, but there are, because you don't know who to trust either. But there are certain, like Eric can be trusted, and there are several others that can be trusted. The angels can be trusted. But yeah, it can get really tricky there. It can really truly get tricky. So some need somebody that they know that's spiritually aware to cross over. But there are souls there to assist with. Now, also, if you have a false being, let's put it this way, like a tall blonde, oh, you know, that's negative. Oh, we're here to help you and all this, and but you see another being saying, don't listen to him. You know, I imagine there's that type of thing going on there. So it's kind of complicated. I know I'm going on and on about this, but it's quite interesting. So there is, you are tested. It's another test. I know, it just never ends, does it? And you see what you want to see when you cross into this realm, and it's not fun. It is kind of a hell. As for hell, does hell exist? If you want it to exist, I imagine there are plenty of souls to make it exist for you. So that's up to you, your belief system. Yeah, that's all in your court, you know, because you have, just like in this world, you have your own reality, you build your own reality. Well, in the afterworld, in the afterlife, or it's not really the afterlife, it's, you know, continuation, just in a different reality. But you know, you choose your reality. So some need to deal with it, some don't. So hopefully that was helpful. That was interesting. There's a lot of stuff in the lower. I call it the lower realms. You can call it whatever you want. I call it the lower realms. There's a lot of grays there. There's a lot of reptilians. A lot of bit of everything. There's a lot of false information there. You know, to biblical energies there also to trap you. There's all kinds of stuff there. Yeah, it's a mecca. I can call that hell in some regard, not always, depending. Another thing is lower beings, like a reptilian, a negative one. Now, if you're just lost, there's a possibility you won't even see any of that negativity. You'll see more of the positive ones. It all depends on how much negativity you have around you also. So if you just, for example, if you drink yourself to death, trust me, you're going to see a lot of reptilians and negative beings around you. But if you just get lost, for the most part, I don't think you're going to see. You might see some, but I don't think you'll see. I think you'll avoid majority of it. It might be one, maybe, but for the most part, I think they're just, you know, the light beings are there to assist you and to get you over to the other side. There's a lot to this, but that's some of it. Yeah, it's like a whole nother. You can write novels about this stuff. There's a lot of. I imagine you can go, it's a lot of shit there, but for the most part, what I'm gathering, most beings do cross over fine. It's the more negativity you have around you, that's where you get stuck. And if you have hesitation to cross over, you don't want to, that's another thing where you can get stuck also. It all depends. I believe when you're deathbed, depending on the situation, you will already know where you're going because you already have visitations from angels. You know, before your day is coming, you're already on the other side already. It's just your soul isn't fully graduating over. So you're already over there. You're just not fully over there. So yeah, it's weird. Well, they're energy, so we can be anywhere. So we're here, we're there, we're all over the place, as you can tell. So yeah, that went on. I don't know. That was interesting. So all right, we'll just leave it with that. Blessings. Thank you for your questions. I do have another channel I'm going to do real quick. Yeah, things are opening up a lot. Here and there depends. Oh, this thing is uploading, so we might have a chance of, you might get a glimpse of what and we'll see how it goes. It might be the morning before this is uploaded, so we'll see how things go. That's for today's stuff. So, all right, much love, everyone. Thank you. about all I have for right now. So blessings, and we'll see what I got.